I always said that when I look back a decade from now, I want to make sure that I have done all I can. We will not duck. We will not hide. We will hold the line.
Rappler CEO Maria Ressa walks out of detention after posting bail. Says arrest is a clear violation of press freedom. Arrest of Filipino journalist Maria Ressa draws a swift condemnation from international media groups and rights advocates. Sri Lankan government soon to implement a hardline policy inspired by Philippines' war on drugs. And health experts warns that broken heart syndrome can actually kill a person. Good evening. Rappler News site Chief Executive Officer Maria Ressa walks out of an overnight detention after posting bail for a cyber libel case. The veteran journalist stresses that her arrest is a clear violation of press freedom. Mai Bermudez tells us why.
Rappler CEO and Executive Director Maria Ressa has been granted temporary liberty after posting bail for a cyber libel case filed against her. Ressa and her lawyers appeared at the Manila Regional Trial Court Branch 46 to pay the bail bond of 100,000 pesos. The veteran journalist was arrested by the National Bureau of Investigation Cybercrime Division on Wednesday evening. She spent the night in detention after a night court in Pasay refused to accept her bail over jurisdiction concerns. Ressa, whose news site clashed with the Duterte administration, believes her arrest is a clear violation of press freedom.
I always said that when I look back a decade from now, I want to make sure that I have done all I can. We will not duck. We will not hide. We will hold the line.
Of the 6 charges filed against Ressa, this is the first time that she was arrested and the 6th time that she posted bail in a span of 2 months. Aside from cyber libel, Ressa is also facing 5 tax cases after the government accused her, Rappler, and the site's accountant of failing to pay taxes in 2015 bond sales. Ressa blames Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara for her arrest and appealed to government officials to make a stand and always do the right thing.
I will appeal again to the men and women in the Philippine judiciary, at the police, at the NBI. You are men and women, individuals with your own values. If you are asked to do something wrong, don't do it. Secretary Guevara, who is, I thought, a professional, these are your actions. The ripple effects are what we feel in society, but you don't want to be known as the Secretary of Injustice.
In a statement, Secretary Guevara assured that Ressa's rights will be respected as he believes that courts will give her fair trial based on law and evidence and not on arguments, ad hominem, and emotional rhetorics. The NBI meanwhile stressed that they were only doing their job when they implemented the arrest order against Ressa.
Ang tinitingnan kasi namin, may order lang ang court, officially assigned sa amin. I-implement lang namin, hindi namin makikita yung politics behind everything. Nakikita lang namin may order at i-implement namin.
Ressa's case stemmed from a complaint filed by businessman Wilfredo King against Rappler over an article published in 2012. The story states the alleged use of King's luxury vehicles by former Supreme Court Chief Justice Renato Corona and his alleged links to human trafficking and drug smuggling. Ressa and former Rappler reporter Reynaldo Santos Jr., who wrote the article, allegedly violated the cybercrime law, but Ressa's lawyer argued that the story was published before the said law was enacted.
The crime was consummated in 2012. Now, unfortunately, this was in May 2012, before the Cybercrime Prevention Act was even signed by the President.
Mai Bermudez, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
Several international journalists and other personalities condemn the arrest of Rappler Chief Executive Officer Maria Ressa over cyber libel case. John Ano tells us why.
Various local and international personalities have expressed their sympathy towards Rappler Chief Executive Officer Maria Ressa. This after National Bureau of Investigation agents arrested her on Wednesday, February 13, over a cyber libel case filed against her. Journalists and netizens denounced the Duterte administration for what they say at curtailment on press freedom following the veteran journalist arrest. In a Twitter post, CNN chief international anchor Christian Amanpour said that a government is desperate to arrest a journalist. In another Twitter post, Canadian Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland, who is a former journalist, criticizes the move to arrest Ressa and reiterates that journalists should not be harassed and intimidated by the government. Even Director of Global Press Freedom of Expression and UN Special Rapporteur Agnes Calamard expressed her sympathy and support to Ressa amid the controversy. Various international press freedom advocates are also outraged over what they claim as unfair treatment on Ressa. International media watchdog Committee to Protect Journalists calls on the Philippine government to withdraw the cases filed against Ressa and stop harassing her. Even Vice President Leni Robredo denounces Ressa's arrest, pointing out that this only shows the Duterte administration is clearly harassing President Rodrigo Duterte's critics. The Vice President stresses this is a political harassment leading to the repression of press freedom. On the other hand, Malacanang insists that Ressa's arrest must not be linked to the issue of press freedom and to Ressa's being a Duterte administration critic. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo argues that the government respects the power of the judiciary and will not meddle in Ressa's case. Panelo emphasizes no one is above the law, not even high-profile self-anointed crusading journalists. Joan Nano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The government of Sri Lanka is looking to hire executioners under a new policy, patterned from the Philippines' war on drugs. Kat Dumaraos tells us why.
Sri Lanka began advertising for hangmen this week as the country's president pushes ahead with a hardline policy modeled on the Philippines to combat drug trafficking. The last execution in Sri Lanka was 43 years ago, but President Maithripala Sirisena said last week he wants to resume the use of capital punishment for drug traffickers in the next 2 months.
On the basis of the reports currently available, we will very likely be able to implement the death penalty in the next few months. I have taken a firm decision to do so, even if there are protests.
Sri Lanka's last hangman quit in 2014 without ever having to execute anyone, citing stress after seeing the gallows for the first time. Another hired last year never turned up for work. Anticipating that capital punishment could soon be used again, the prison service is hurrying to recruit 2 executioners.
It is a good thing that the death penalty is being implemented because the number of violent crimes is increasing in the country. Therefore, the hangman must be brought back.
During a state visit to the Philippines in January, Sirisena had praised President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs, despite international criticism of a campaign that has resulted in thousands of people being killed in encounters with police. Drug trafficking is a capital offense in Sri Lanka, although no one has been executed for any crime in the country since 1976, as all death penalties have been commuted to life in prison since then. Aside from Sri Lanka, another country, Bangladesh, is applying the Philippine-style police crackdown on meth traffickers. Bangladesh authorities said over 100 suspected drug traders, traffickers, and several godfathers are expected to surrender this week on a war on drugs launched since 2018. Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
Health experts warns that an emotional trauma can actually harm a person's heart and may even lead to death. Grace Casin tells us why.
Are you still living in the past? Are you still feeling a deep ache and loneliness in your heart long after you lost someone dear? Losing a loved one can be emotionally devastating, and sometimes an overwhelming loss can affect physical health, including the heart, which may lead to death. This is called the broken heart syndrome, and the health experts say that it is real.
So, pwedeng 1, maging major depression na siya, talagang mental disorder. 2, pwedeng sabihin mo ayaw mo na itong nararamdaman mo. It can lead to suicidal attempt or to fulfill a suicide.
Medical experts call it takotsubo myopathy or stress-induced cardiomyopathy. It is a temporary heart condition that is often brought on by stressful situations. It mimics a heart attack, and people with broken heart syndrome may have sudden chest pain and shortness of breath. According to cardiologist Dr. Bong Santiago, severe stress and so much pain may trigger this syndrome and weaken a person's heart.
In 4 years' time, pwedeng after nung ma-diagnose na mayroong itong problema sa puso dahil nga sa mga relationship na ganyan, ay nagkakaproblema talaga. Actually, even namamatay pa nga ibang mga pasyente.
Psychologist Camille Garcia advises people who are going through emotional trauma to express it by crying. Garcia adds that shedding a tear in moderation is the most natural thing to ease the pain that a person is feeling.
Pag umiiyak na, lalo na pag yung sawi sa pag-ibig, the most is 15 minutes na tuloy-tuloy because it can lead to a heart attack.
Talking about your feelings with families and friends may also help lessen the pain.
Pag paulit-ulit mo siyang nasasabi, you vent it out hanggang sa yung wala nang feeling na parang I remember the boy but I can't remember the feeling anymore.
Drinking fruit juices may also help a person to recover from the emotional trauma. Conrad Santos, a photo-video editor, says he has been hurt in the past because of an unrequited love. However, he has learned to walk away from the pain and choose to lead a happy life.
Una sa lahat, siyempre, mahirap, masakit sa puso. Pero nung humingi ako ng tulong kay God, eventually, na-realize ko na hindi yun ang aking priority. At meron pala akong dapat naunahin. Yung pamilya ko, mga kaibigan ko, at siyempre yung sarili ko. Kaya dapat, pupuuna kasi.
Experts advise that a person should always allot time and love for him, herself when loving someone to easily pick up the pieces when the relationship breaks. And do not rush to find and be with your one true love in this life. Because as the saying goes, true love waits.
Majority of Filipinos are very happy with their love life. However, the number of annulment and nullity cases filed in the courts has been increasing. Biblically speaking, what are the secrets of a successful relationship? Rosalie Cos has his report.
51% of 1,440 Filipino adults interviewed face-to-face by the social weather stations are very happy with their love life. 36% say it could be happier, while 13% say they have no love life. Based on a report of the Office of the Solicitor General, however, the number of annulment and nullity cases filed had increased from 2008 to 2016. This shows the state of marital affairs in the Philippines in 10 years' time. Biblically speaking, what is the secret of a successful relationship to maintain a happy love life? International televangelist Brother Eli Soriano speaks about the Holy Bible's advice.
Kasi ang pagmamahal, umuunawa, nagpaparaya, hindi nag-e-expect. Pagka naramdaman mo na spiritually, masaya asawa mo, isustain mo yon. Yung sinasabi sa Biblia na, let the righteous be righteous still.
This is the Morales couple's case. Nori and her husband have 6 children, and 3 of them already have their own families. At home and even at work, the couple is always together. Nori said being faithful to one another is their secret for being together in almost 4 decades.
Kailangan parehas kayong tapat. Kailangan dasal, panatili talagang magagandang samahan yung kung anong problema, pag-usapan yung dalawa para hindi kayo magkahiwalay.
This is supported by the Bible, according to Brother Eli Soriano.
Ang kalooban ng Diyos ay maging tapat tayo sa tipanan. Kahit hindi pa kayo mag-asawa. Kasi yung tipanan nga, papunta na yun sa pag-aasawa eh. Kahit hindi pa kayo mag-asawa, dapat tapat na kayo sa isa't isa. Huwag tayong matuto ng lakad ng mga taong walang Diyos na parang nilalaro lang ang pakikipagkatipanan.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Up next on Y News. Fresh military encounter with Abu Sayyaf group in Patikul, Sulu leaves 1 dead and 3 injured. And the PBA legends from Ginebra and Pure Foods teams prepare for the historic return of the rivals game this Sunday. Thank you for keeping me company in the first part of Y News. More reasons behind the stories with Angelo Castro III after this quick break. I'm Rheena Villamor-Camara. Good evening.
Welcome back to Y News. We pick up from where Rheena Villamor-Camara left off. I am Angelo Castro III, and here are the headlines. Meralco clarifies that the 4.4 billion peso refund ordered by the Energy Regulatory Commission only covers selected customers. Philippine National Police warrants dismissal against moonlighting cops. And the fresh military encounter with Abu Sayyaf group in Patikul, Sulu leaves 1 dead and 3 others injured. The Manila Electric Company or Meralco clarifies that not all 6 million of its customers are entitled to the 4.4 billion refund ordered by the Energy Regulatory Board. Monokson will tell us why.
Meralco warns its customers that not all of them will receive a refund. The power distributor clarified that they have already returned the amount to almost all of its customers through the Refund Management Task Force that the firm created in 2003.
We finished it. So naibigay yung malaking bahagi na nito. No? Sabi nga kasi kung if that's 30 billion, naibalik na namin halos lahat, no? Dun sa 32 billion refund.
Meralco recalled that it was in 2002 when the Supreme Court ordered the power distributor to return the 32 billion income tax collected from its customers. After that, Meralco said the refund for the remaining amount was given in staggered payments from 2002 to this year. Meralco assured that every active customer is benefiting from the refund in form of reduction in electric charges. The 4.4 billion that ERC ordered for refund until June this year is actually from terminated accounts and inactive customers.
Pag sinabing terminated, at some point in time, customer ka namin. Pero, dumating yung punto na hindi ka na customer na Meralco dahil yung account mo ay naputol na terminate na. Kaya lang, batay dun sa timeline, mayroon pa rin itong mga terminated accounts na ito, they are entitled to the refund. Kaya yan yung hinahanap natin ngayon.
These terminated accounts, Meralco said, are now difficult to track. That's why a refund is near impossible. But Meralco urges customers to just inquire at their office if they feel that they have not received the refund yet. Meanwhile, militant groups called on Meralco to expedite the refund process.
Kasi ang problema, pag naniningil ang Meralco at wala kang pambayad, immediate ang pagpuputol. Pag sila naman ang kailangan magbayad, ay inaabot pa ng halos ilang taon na.
The case of the billion peso refund by Meralco started in 1997 when private groups complained that the utility company's income tax should not be added to its operational expenses. Mon Hokson, UNTV, News and Rescue, Pasig City.
Groups of rice industry stakeholders are urging President Rodrigo Duterte to reject the rice tariffication bill, which they believe will severely affect the livelihood of local rice farmers. Bay Pelayo tells us why.
Several rice industry groups gathered in Mindiola earlier to protest against the rice tariffication bill, which is only a signature away from becoming a law. The groups call on the President Rodrigo Duterte to veto the measure, citing the possibility of a phase-out of low-priced rice in the market currently distributed by the National Food Authority or NFA. They fear the removal of NFA's marketing support to local farmers because it will open an opportunity for traders to take advantage of the situation. The groups also opposed the removal of NFA's function to regulate and control the importation of rice because it will lead to rampant smuggling and allow businessmen to manipulate the local rice industry.
Ibig sabihin din ito sa batas ng tariffication bill, hindi na sila mag-i-intervene sa market. So wala tayong makikitang NFA rice sa lahat ng palengke.
They said the government should have a strong regulation and control of rice importation similar to how it regulates the entry of imported garlic, onions, and other goods.
Anumang buwan, tuloy-tuloy ang pag-i-import ng bigas. Ito ay masama sa ating ekonomiya, lalo-lalo na sa farmers.
With such a bill, the group said NFA will no longer have its function to inspect private warehouses and confiscate hoarded supply because there will be no proper inventory of stocks.
Ito ay 4.2 million lang na bigas. Ibig sabihin po nito, 6 to 7 days lang ang buffer stock ng NFA.
NFA officer in charge Tomas Escares clarified that they do not reject the bill as a whole but some of its provisions. One of these is the removal of the power of the NFA to visit or inspect private warehouses. Escares adds that they are ready to face the challenge if the president will sign the bill.
The very reason why the NFA was created in 1972, right after Marcelo, one is to stabilize the price, and number two is to put order to a very chaotic grains industry. Nag-aalala kami ngayon kung biglang mga alisin niya, kung ano kaya mangyayari dito.
Escares noted that it cannot be presumed totally that they can no longer participate in the market and it may be solved through the implementing rules and regulations. NFA has 14 million sacks of rice and the supply for market may last until August. Ray Pilayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
A soldier was killed and 3 others were injured after a fresh military encounter with Abu Sayyaf group in Paticul, Sulu. Here's why from Dante Amento.
Members of the 6th Special Forces Battalion of the Armed Forces of the Philippines engaged in an encounter with some members of the Abu Sayyaf group in Paticul, Sulu this morning. The encounter occurred at past 11 a.m. in Barangay Igasan, a known bailiwick of the terrorist group. The firefight, which lasted for 20 minutes, left 1 dead and 3 others injured from the government side. Clearing operations are ongoing to determine the number of casualties on the enemy side.
Ganun talaga, no? Pagka na-enkwentro ang tropa, alam naman natin yung hirap ng dinadanas ng ating mga sundalo doon, but still yung motivation and talagang commitment natin to really run after them.
This is the 4th clash between the government troops and ASG since President Rodrigo Duterte declared an all-out war against the group and other enemies of the state. In total, 6 soldiers have been killed and 21 others were wounded in the recent encounters with the ASG in Sulu, while 4 were slain and 15 others were injured from the ASG believed to be commanded by sub-unit leader Hatib Hajan Sawadjaan. Sawadjaan has been tagged as the mastermind in the bombings at a Holo Cathedral in Sulu last January 27. A U.S. Defense Department report also identified Sawadjaan as the acting emir of the Islamic State militants in the Philippines. The military has earlier stated that the said information has yet to be validated. However, the AFP said that they are not worried over Sawadjaan's clout, stressing their mission to end the decades-long violence and terrorism being sowed by the ASG and other rebel groups in Mindanao.
For Western Mindanao Command, it doesn't matter if he's the emir or what. But basta alam natin, he's the leader of a particular group. And this group is notorious in so many atrocities. We have to run after him.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue, Zamboanga City.
The Commission on Elections and the Presidential Anti-Corruption Commission warns government agencies and local government units to not use government funds in endorsing any candidate in the coming midterm elections. Aiko Miguel tells us why.
Under the Omnibus Election Code, government employees and local government units are prohibited from engaging in any partisan political activities. Even uniformed and active members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police are not allowed to do so. The rule dictates that no public official or government employee may use funds or resources of any government agency or local government. The prohibitions include the use of vehicles for motorcades of candidates, putting up tarpaulins, banners, and posters in front of any government office, mandating government employees to patronize campaigns of political parties or candidates, and the use of office supplies to produce a candidate's or a party's campaign materials.
Maraming even mga cabinet members and those that are in government agencies na may mga relationship na mga tumatakbo sa mga party list. Gagamitin mo ang pera ng bayan. So, warning na rin to sa mga yung mga agencies concerned. Lalo na yung mga supply officer dyan.
If the office were to order that all wallpapers were to be the same wallpaper of the same candidate or of the same ticket, then that would be partisan political activity. Because that would be imposing a particular choice on the subordinates. I mean, they can express their own preference, but they cannot impose that preference on others.
COMELEC and the PACC both warned that once a government official or an employee engages in any partisan political activities, he or she may be suspended from 1 to 6 months on the first offense, removal from office on the second offense, and when found guilty of getting involved in any partisan political activity, may face imprisonment from 1 to 6 years. When the involved is an enlisted personnel of AFP and PNP, they may be sanctioned with appropriate disciplinary actions before the court-martial under the Commonwealth Act No. 408 or the Articles of War. COMELEC and the PACC encourage the public to report any government agency or LGU that endorses any candidate or party for the necessary sanctions and due action.
Ang aking appeal lang sa tao, lahat ng mga i-document ninyo kasi we will make them accountable.
Aiko Miguel, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The Philippine National Police warns its personnel against moonlighting as police escorts to political candidates during the election period. Let's find out why from Mirasol Abogadil.
Policemen moonlighting as police escorts to political candidates during campaign period may face charges and dismissal from service. The Philippine National Police issued this warning following the relief of 16 cops in Zamboanga Peninsula who were found illegally escorting a mayoral bet in Sindangan Town. It was earlier revealed by Police Regional Office 9 Director Police Chief Superintendent Emmanuel Licop that it was not the first time that he relieved the Chief of Police and some members of the Sindangan Police Office over repeated moonlighting case. According to PNP Internal Affairs Service Inspector General Attorney Alfegar Triambulo, police who will be caught moonlighting and practicing partisan politics may be dismissed from service.
Pag ikaw ay naging bodyguard ng isang politiko na hindi otorisado, ito po ay grave misconduct, no? At ang kaparusahan niyan ay dismissal from the service. Kaya minomonitor ngayon natin itong mga politiko na to, especially doon sa vote buying area, nung mga pulis kung sumubra o hindi.
Police escorts assigned to both civilians and local officials nationwide have been recalled, except for those assigned to 10 very important personalities when the election period for the 2019 midterm polls officially began on January 13. The recall is part of the routine election ban prescribed by the Commission on Elections Resolution Number 10466 to limit election violence and the politicization of the police force. Politicians and local officials facing serious threats on their lives may only employ 2 police escorts despite the ban after they have applied and obtained a certificate of authority for security detail from the COMELEC.
To give color na wala silang pags, mga pulis po ang kanilang ginagamit. Pag nag-request ka, 2 lang. So hingi itong kandidato nito sa isang munisipyo, sa mayor ng 2, hihingi sa ibang munisipyo, and then yung isa naming na-monitor ay 16, lampas pa ng 16, yung nakikita namin palagi niyan nakasabay. Kahit siya'y namamalingke. Meron pa rin sa private group na puros naman mga kapulisan.
In line with this, Triambulo said they are conducting spot inspections in different regions across the country, especially in areas with intense political rivalry and rampant vote buying.
So para maging neutral ang non-partisan ang ating mga kapulisan, kami naglulunsad ngayon ng intelligence activities at saka yung tinatawag namin conduct ng spot inspection. Na ang pulis ay nasa kanilang mga unit nagbabantay.
Mirasol Abugadil, UNTV, News and Rescue.
95 local government units in Metro Manila, Region 3 and Region 4A have been found non-compliant of environmental laws. According to the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG Secretary Eduardo Año, this result is based on the 2018 Regional Interagency Committee table assessment and on-site inspections. The said local government's negligence have caused decades-old pollution in Manila Bay, the Secretary Año added. Of the 95 LGUs that failed the assessment, 2 are from the National Capital Region, 37 from Calabarzon, and 56 are from Central Luzon. Secretary Año added his department will help the identified local governments within Manila Bay watershed to comply with the laws. The DILG chief also reminds local governments that will not cooperate with the government towards the rehabilitation of Manila Bay may face charges. Secretary Año further said they will continue to monitor the local government's compliance with the environmental laws. Legends of the Inebra and Pure Foods teams of the Philippine Basketball Association, or PBA, continue to gear up for their comeback battle on the hard court at the Big Dome on Sunday. Here's why from Victor Cosare.
To give their best for the sake of helping others. This is one of the motivations of the legends in the history of Philippine basketball as they face the battle in the PBA Legends Return of the Rivals. Aside from Alaska and San Miguel Aces, legendary basketball stars of the Pure Foods and Ginebra teams go through exhaustive practice plays for their much-awaited reunion game at the Big Dome on Sunday.
Gusto sana namin ilabas yung mga moves na doon kami nakilala. We will try our very best na ilabas yun. Siyempre, iba pa rin yung mapanalo mo yung manalo kami for this game. Pipilitin namin, i-boost namin lahat.
Makikita mo naman na everyone is really focused and serious about this. Kasi siyempre, matagal nang hindi nakapaglaro lahat baka prone to injury.
The star players of the 90s and early 2000s are excited to once again hit the hardcourt to bring fun and excitement to their fans.
Sa tingin ko lahat tayo sorpresa, pati ako, because marami dito is hindi naman talagang naglalaro ng tuloy-tuloy. So it's going to be a combination, I guess. You can see some flashes of the old times. Saka mas marami yung mas mabagal ng konti.
Sa dating ng February 17 siguro maganda ito dahil pinakahandaan ito dating mga players. So dito maalam kung sino mga kondisyon
But aside from entertainment, one of the ballers' big motivation is the opportunity to help their fellow players who need medical help.
Of course, yung siyempre magkikita-kita, maglalaro, magkakasama kami mga former teammates ko. Pero ang maganda nangyari yung goal na gusto namin mangyari na matulungan namin yung mga ibang nangangailangan na mga kasama namin. Kaya nga nagpapasalamat ako kay Kuya Daniel, grabe suporta sa amin.
Yung mga ganitong events, siyempre yung makakatulong kahit paano una-una. Makikita pa kami naglalaro yung mga dating PBA player, tapos makikita na medyo fit ka pa. So magiging motivation din sa kanila yon na para maging alagaan din nila yung mga sarili nila and maging pakondisyon pa sila lalo.
Not only the fans but also the players are excited for the historic exhibition game.
iimbitahan ko po kayong manood sa February 17, Sunday, sa game po ng PBA Legends, ang San Miguel versus Alaska, Pure Foods versus Ginebra. Kita po tayo doon.
Magkita-kita po tayo sa Sunday at makasama kayong muli. Nandiyan po halos lahat yung mga kasama natin dati.
PBA Legends Return of the Rivals will also be aired live on UNTV with live streaming via untvweb.com. Victor Cosare, UNTV News and Rescue.
Cebuana Wishcovery finalist Rheena Casas has expressed excitement over her upcoming performance at the iconic Wish Bus. Gladys Tuwabi tells us why.
Singing hopefuls and reaching the grand finals of the Wishcovery Season 2, the singer and the song still feel surreal for Rheena Casas. The 21-year-old marketing student admits she still finds it hard to believe that she was able to survive all the tough vocal battle in the Wishcovery and hold her own mini-concert with her family, friends, and fellow Cebuanos. Her home concert was held at the Greenery in Barangay Mabolo, Cebu City on Wednesday night. The young songstress dedicated the night of music to her family and fans who tirelessly supported her Wishcovery journey.
Sa first concert ko po, sobrang saya po kasi po di ko po in-expect nga ganun po kadami yung taong pupunta. Kasi I'm just an ordinary person. Dinededicate ko po itong concert na to sa mga supporters ko po, families, kasi po sila po yung nandyan palagi para sa akin po.
Rheena will represent Camp Top Suzara to the grand finals of the first and only online singing competition, set to be held on February 26 at Araneta Coliseum. Rheena's friends and supporters firmly believe that she will be named as this season's grand winner and make it big in the Philippine music industry one day.
Of course, we will give our 100% support. If there is 101%, we will also push our best to share, especially sa power viewing po niya. So, share lang ng share since we have unlimited demand internet, so we can also use of our all resources para naman po mabigay yung support na kinakailangan.
Actually, I will help her to, especially sa power viewing. I will tell all my friends to share, to watch, and then we will go to Manila also to support her sa Araneta.
Labi na karon niya, compete sa finals. So mas nakita na ko ang iyahang desire, ang iyahang potential jud ug ang iyahang skills nga gikan sa una hangtod karon is dako jud diferensya. So si Nash karon is nag-improve niya murag ready na gid siya para mo fight para sa Cebu going finals.
Meanwhile, Rheena has expressed excitement over her upcoming performance at the iconic Wish Bus, where she will breathe life into a song penned by her coach, hitmaker Top Suzara. The piece will be their camp's entry for the Wishcovery Finals night. The Wishclusive performance will be uploaded to Wish 1075 YouTube channel on Monday, February 18, with the power viewing commencing at 12 noon. After her home concert, Rheena will go into rehearsals in preparation for the final battle of Wishcovery Season 2. Gladys Tuwabi, UNTV News and Rescue, Cebu.
Up next on Y News. Endangered macaws are rescued from a wildlife smuggler in Chile. Mars Opportunity rover ends its 15-year mission. And the Harlem Globetrotters show off trick shots on a ship. More reasons behind the stories when Y News returns.